Now, Democratic lawmakers are getting set to use the budget reconciliation process to pass more spending bills, and there are more and more states across the country deciding to end the $300 federal unemployment benefit. This is your fourth stimulus check update and daily news report. Welcome back, folks. I hope all of you guys are having a great day. Now, there's a ton of news to cover in this video. White House officials told Democrats in the House of Representatives to get ready to go it alone on infrastructure if bipartisan talks settle down, and that will set the stage for party leaders to use the budget reconciliation process once again to move President Biden's top domestic priority without Republican support. Members of the House Democratic Caucus were briefed by a top advisor to President Biden, and he said that they will give Senate negotiators 7 to 10 days to reach a bipartisan agreement.
I also told him that no president of the United States could keep faith with the American people if they did not speak out to defend our democratic values, to stand up for the universal and fundamental freedoms that all men and women have in our view.
Officials said that if no deal is reached in that time, Democrats will gauge the progress of those talks and charge ahead with a partisan package if need be. Biden's advisors had stated, "We certainly have foundation to build on top of our jobs plan, and it's really complete, and we'll see where we're going to go." After a week or 10 days of more dialogue and negotiation, though a number of Democrats emerging from the meeting had a different interpretation, suggesting the 7 to 10 day window was a hard deadline. Chairman of the House Budget Committee said afterwards, "They're giving it a week or 10 days more, and that's about it. And then we move along with reconciliation for everything." But the White House pushed back on the narrative later in the day, emphasizing that Biden's preference remains a bipartisan deal. White House spokesman Andrew Bates said in an email, he said that we are certainly going to know where the things stand on infrastructure talks generally in the next 10 to 7 days, and that we can take stock overall. But he did not set a deadline or cutoff. What do you think about this, everybody? Should Democrats and Republicans start working together to help out the American people? Tell me your thoughts on this in the comments below. Now, Democratic Representative Hakeem Jeffries, chairman of the House Democratic Caucus, said the White House officials instructed Democrats to prepare for two separate tracks, one allowing for a bipartisan agreement, the other empowering Democrats to act alone. Jeffries stated, "If they choose the obstruction pathway, then we're prepared to do what is necessary to get the American Jobs Plan over the finish line." Representative Jayal Powell, head of the powerful Congressional Progressive Caucus, said that she doesn't think Congress will reach a bipartisan deal for 3 reasons. First, she doesn't see 10 Republicans breaking ranks to support a top Biden priority. Second, the outline of the Senate proposal revealed a package far too small to win the support of liberals in either chamber. And third, the gas tax some senators have proposed to help cover the new cost is a side dispute. Jayal Powell said, "What we have said consistently is that it will be very difficult for us to vote on a smaller bipartisan package that leaves out so many critical priorities unless we absolutely have the other package, reconciliation packages, moving at the same time, and we have 50 votes in the Senate for it." And now, there are now 25 states that have opted to curtail enhanced unemployment benefits 2 months early. Lawmakers who are shutting off benefits early have typically pointed to the hiring needs of newly reopened businesses and hospitality, such as restaurants that are finding a smaller pool of job candidates. There are states that have already ended the benefits on June 12th, like Alaska, Iowa, Mississippi, and Missouri. Critics of the 25 states that are curtailing jobless aid point to data demonstrating that the labor market is improving. In May, the nation's jobless rate fell to its lowest since the crisis began in March 2020, declining to 5.8%. But challenges still remain. In some cases, restaurant workers have shifted to other industries, but some hospitality industry workers remain sidelined because of health concerns or childcare issues. Thank you for watching, everybody. Until next time, have a great day and stay safe. And if you support a fourth stimulus check,
we have proposed a global minimum tax effective rate of 21%, not 26%. And what we're working toward internationally is a global minimum tax that is at least 15% and hopefully higher than that. What the G7 agreed to in London last week was that they would adopt a global minimum tax at least 15%, not 15%, but hopefully higher than that. And I think if we're able to make progress domestically on reforming our GILTI, which needs to be on a country by country basis rather than a blended basis, and ourselves move it into the same territory we're asking other countries to do, I think we have a very good chance of getting them to agree. And we're really looking for agreement on this by the time of the leaders G20 summit next October. I think we have a very good chance of getting very broad-based agreement on this in the OECD. And
so it sounds to me like you're saying that you think the United States should move first, regardless of whether there is a global agreement.
Well, I think we're trying to move these things in tandem. We feel very good about the progress that we're making internationally, and feel the United States would be in a better situation. It would help to fund the important proposals in the president's budget to close tax loopholes that are, if we raise this tax and reform it, we're going to stop incentives that many American firms now have to shift profits and actual production activity away from our shores. And
well, I take it that you're saying that you're not ruling out, at least, that the United States would act first. But even if we acted in conjunction with the OECD, that does not include a number of critical other nations, which some of which have already signaled that they will not do a global minimum tax.
well, Senator,
how do we do that? Go ahead.
You mentioned Ireland and a few other countries. I've had very constructive bilateral conversations with the Irish finance minister, and believe that he's going to be working with us, and that to try to raise the global minimum tax, even though that's a highly consequential matter for Ireland. I believe the entire EU will in the end go along with higher minimum taxes. Now, if there are a few countries, we do need broad global agreement on this, but we don't need every country to go along with it, because Pillar 2 on minimum taxes contain an enforcement mechanism whereby we will be able to incent holdouts, tax havens that don't want to go along with this deal, to come on board.
Tell me in the comments down below,